Peace and blessings, everyone. It's me, Coach Ed, and I want to welcome you guys to Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Thank you guys for being here. Today, I just wanted to make a quick video, just talk about a little bit of things that's happening here, in the world of sports. A little bit of football, mainly the Giants. With the NBA, hockey. Just a couple of things I just wanted to talk to you guys about. When I talked about the Giants, I really think this year's rookie class, I really like it. I think that they're going to be very productive across the board, in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams. All 11 players, I think, have an excellent chance of making the roster and being contributors in one of those phases. And then there's a couple of undrafted free agents who I think can definitely help can make the team and definitely help the team across in the long haul. As Joe Shane says, you compete for today and build for the future. So I think his foundation is there. So, this team is definitely going to compete this year. There's been different talks, excitement in terms of record. For me, the floor is around 6 and the ceiling is around 11. So, it doesn't surprise me if, the team ends up there along the way. In terms of the rookie class, key players, of course, there's our first round draft picks, Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal, definite locks, to start and definitely get out there and, help this organization and this team. Tibbs is just electric with how he's just with his persona and his charisma and how he's gravitating to the New York City area. Neal, a mammoth of a man, what can you say? It's going to develop in definitely with Thomas be a bookend, give us 2 bookend tackles, for the future. I think Wendell Robinson is definitely going to be, a contributor on offense in many different ways, not just in the slot, but, across the board, running back, outside, inside, it's going to be hard to match up, with him. And I think Dane Belton, being that, we're limited in the safeties, I think he has an excellent chance to be a contributor and play a lot there and not just there on special teams, but, of course, being that third safety, I think he's going to definitely help out there. Now, one player that I am intrigued by very much so is our 6th round draft pick in Darren Beavers. That kid is, big, maybe not the most athletic player, but there's a good skill set there. And, very aggressive and physical. And, we're going to need that, especially in our first game, that type of player to bring that level of physicality, especially when you got a team that, does a lot of running. So, he brings a certain dynamic and his versatility, where he can line up at, many different positions, coming off the edge as a blitzer or even up, from the linebacker position. So, I'm really intrigued by, what he does, what he will bring, to, the defense. Not to say I'm not intrigued by all of our rookies, but I'm really intrigued by him, especially because he's a 6th round draft pick. So, can he really, be a key, a very big contributor, to the defense. So, those rookies I'm really, I think are going to be some of our key players and intriguing players. I thought about, the possibility of rookie of the year. I know everyone has talked about Kayvon Thibodeau, but I think offensively, Robinson, I think he can, if the offense puts him in the right position to be successful. And wouldn't it be amazing if we had the offensive and defensive rookies of the year? I mean, that would definitely send a message to the league that our GM and our management staff and our scouting staff, they know what they're doing. And that would also settle down a lot of the fans who were skeptical. And I do understand because of, what we've been through, in the past. So, but if we could get 2 rookies of the year, offense and defense, I think that would be very big. So this week, with OTAs, I'm really excited about it, starting with today. I'm interested to see how the rookies fit in with the veterans, how they get acclimated, how the veterans get acclimated and fit into with the coaches themselves and vice versa. Everyone, is in that honeymoon phase, so, you're kind of on your best behavior, but everyone does have to really get to know each other and get acclimated. I want to see the depth. Initially, the coaches are going to give you an indication of what they're thinking in terms of their depth. Where they initially put a player, just says, okay, that's what they're thinking. And does that player grasp the opportunity and take advantage of it? Or are they moved? Is somebody else stepping up? So, those are just some things that I'm interested in, to see what goes on just a little bit, but not just in OTAs, but, going forward as you get ready for the season, going into training camp and the preseason, how things work out, how things are broken down. Also, how do the players adapt to, do they pick up Dable's, up-tempo, philosophy? Do they pick up on that and do they take advantage of it? Does it help them? Or, is it that, you have to scale it back because the guys are not just really grasping it? Or, let's just, hopefully, I don't want to see this, but some guys are just not physically in shape for it. So, because that's, having been an OC in the DC, I know the benefits and the problems that an up-tempo offense can cause. So I'm really interested in seeing how with the Giants how things pan out. um you know Looking at the hockey, Rangers, congratulations. Phenomenal, to come back, when you're on the brink of getting knocked out, to win the series in a game 7. I mean, even in games, 2 of the games, you guys were still down. Pittsburgh was up 2-0, to start the game, and you fought back to win the game. It's phenomenal. The energy that you guys have brought to the city. I mean, I'm hoping to see that, that energy also flows through, you guys, and pushes you guys to, go very far in the playoffs, if not all the way. So, that's intriguing. And like I said, the excitement that you brought to the New York City tri-state area, it's outstanding. So, and I think that's going to trickle down to, a lot of the other sports, across the spectrum. And then if you get into the NBA, I mean, Phoenix getting blown out in a game 7 on your own home court, and you're supposed to also have one of the elite point guards and a talented roster, even having the coach of the year. It's like, what's going on over there? Your former #1 overall draft pick, in Ayton, game 7, you only played one. My understanding is 17 minutes. What's going on? What happened? You know, so that's interesting. And this off season is going to really show a lot, or is it going to galvanize them, and they're going to close the doors, and they're really going to get going, and they're going to figure it out, and it's going to really make them hungry to even go further next year, if not all the way. So, Milwaukee, the champs, getting knocked out. So I mean, especially when you have the Greek Freak there, and the talent that you have there. I really wasn't expecting that. I did at least expect them to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, and with the Final Four of Golden State, Dallas, Miami, and Boston, I think the Miami and Boston series is going to be a 7-game series, and it's going to be tough. A lot of defense. Old school for me, an old school '90s type of feel to it. But there's a lot of talent out there. God, Boston is hot. What can you say? I mean, they really are stepping their game up. So, but Miami, has been consistent all year. So, I think they're going to, both be ready for the task. Dallas, I mean, Luka Doncic is just a straight baller. What can you say? I mean, that kid is just amazing. But when you got Golden State, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, all those players. That's a championship organization. They have a championship mentality. So, could it go 7 games? Yeah, but I'm thinking Golden State and probably six. But I mean, the Dallas did end up winning. It wouldn't surprise me, but if they shut down Doncic or they shut everyone else down and just let him go for his. I mean, Golden State has more players that can produce. Dallas, if Doncic is down, maybe Brunson can lead you in one game, maybe two, but to lead to win the series, I don't know. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards a championship series of Golden State and Miami. So but it wouldn't surprise me if any of them got there. And then finally, Tuesday is the draft lottery. For my Knicks, disappointing year, especially after last year, getting the 4th seed. And, I was thinking that they would do a lot better, but, it didn't pan out that way. So with the draft, are they going to still end up at 11, or, does somebody on behind them jump up and push them down a spot or two, or do they get, the balls bounced their way just like back in 85 and they can get up to the top spot, and, even if they move into the top 3, does it impact any future moves? Do teams behind them, if they are in that top spot, want to trade with them? Maybe you're getting a future first round draft pick to switch positions. Maybe you get rid of a contract that you want to get rid of right now. You know, how does that go? Or do you having that top position, does that allow you to trade for a top level player who wants to come to New York City? So those are just some of the things that, I was, thinking about and wanted to talk a little bit about. But, it's amazing, as always in sports, all those storylines and so much more. Yankees, Mets, we can go on and on, but, right now, just, going to take a break and, we'll talk more and get a little bit more detailed and more about the different sports that are out there. So in closing, I want you guys to do me a favor. First of all, like and subscribe. Please help me grow this channel. I mean, we can grow it together because ultimately this is our channel. I can just, talk about it, but, I need you guys to give me insight. If you have suggestions, comment, put it out there, or, and just let's help it grow. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate you guys. And when it comes to sports, it's always amazing. But also with sports, make sure you guys turn it on and turn it up. Peace and blessings always.